Perfect. Yep. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed was your picture. And so that, like, caught my eye. And then I came over to the contrast of what you had here. And so it was like, okay, what are these people doing? And so it was obviously, like, graduate leadership. And then afterwards I went down here to, like, kind of get more information. So I really liked how this was bigger. And then the area here was great so that, like, it was still I was still attracted to look at it, but maybe, like, it was good that you did it so it was in the proper order of looking at it. Then I went and it came to here with the text, and that to me was, like, a lot to read. So maybe, like, breaking that up. But I like the organization and the flow because it was, like, this, and then this, which I think is, like, really essentially like, what you're trying to get across and get people to come to. And then it's, like, the details. So I thought that was really, really good. And then I like how you matched, like, the contrast from here to here, so it just feels like everything matches and stuff like that. And then I do like how it's very organized, but yet not in a typical way.
Yeah.
And so I can see it was, like, creative, and so it was something that I would maybe... I mean, it's going to not look like somebody else's flyer, so it's very unique in that aspect. The only thing was, like, conference I didn't catch right at first.
Okay.
So just checking, like, just making sure that is, like, cohesive with what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So part of my message and audience, I just thought that the main message was graduate and then leadership conference a little bit smaller because I feel like obviously it applies to people that are graduating, so it doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. So if you see graduate and you're about to graduate, this would be something that would...
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think the contrast using that was definitely, like, an eye-catcher for it. So.
And then I like this picture because it just had girls and guys, so it could apply to anyone. It's not just, like, a girl in the picture, and so guys are uninterested or whatever. But I do see how the graduate leadership and then conference, I'm not crazy about that seeing it printed off, so maybe just moving it over a little bit.
Yeah. I think, though, like, the way you have it with, like, big, smaller, and then smaller is fine.
Okay.
Just, like, maybe making it a match, like, this matches sort of thing. So, yeah, so I think that looks really good.
So I think that's something that I kind of want to do is pull the conference over a little bit. This was supposed to be white, and then I wanted this to be a little bit more of a gray, but it's not. It's kind of showing up, but not as much as I would like it to. So just to look at that in my color options in InDesign. And then I also really like where you said, like, to break this up, just because it makes it easier to read as a flyer, because it's something that someone's going to try to read quickly.
Right.
And so I feel like that would just make it a lot easier if this was broken up and so it wasn't such a big paragraph.
Right. And even though it's going to be the same length, it just makes it look like it's not as much. So, yeah.
So, after running over everything, I don't have any, like, widows or orphans. I, like, tried to look for that because I know, like, when I put this in originally, some of it wanted to have hyphens on the corner, so I would just pull that down to the next line so that they weren't just hanging out by themselves. And then my image is proportional to the text, and I might actually pull this text over a little bit so that it lines up better with the image.
I do like where you like how you aligned it, but yeah, I agree. If you pulled it over a bit, it would just kind of be a nicer line.
Because the conference aligns with this black box, which lines with the gray box, and so I feel like my text would be better a little bit over to the left
with the picture, right? Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a really good move.
And then I feel like, the title is just effective because of the graduate leadership. But, again, just pulling that over, I feel like would make a big difference.
And just, like, if you want to stack it, because I think
do leadership here and then conference right here. And so not even to have that there. And then that would make more sense if I pull my image over and my text, my body copy over.
Yeah.
And so then I just used 2 different fonts, but I used... one with a serif and then one without a serif. And then I just use different, like, types within my font. So I
Right.
did some a little bit bolder, some just regular. So I liked that ability to like kind of use a little,
differentiate.
kind of use.
Well, because I mean, you
bit
can
of different.
definitely see it from here to here,
Yeah.
like that, but it's still matching here.
Yes.
So, and the other thing I was gonna say is maybe like consider doing this, like the white and the black here,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you can turn the typography white and black here, and then it would still match.
Go with this better.
But if you
makes
don't
sense.
like the way it stacks,
Or to do this
maybe.
a little bit like a darker gray
Yeah.
and this to be black,
Yeah.
and then that matches up with
Yeah.
this, so your eyes go.
And I'm just noticing now actually that you put competitive like a lot larger,
Mhm.
which like at first when I read it, it did stick out, but I didn't realize what you had
Why
done.
it
So
did.
that was like such a good idea. So I think that looks really good. I think you're being really good at being like taking a step back and able to like change it, and
Yeah.
some of the things are
Especially once you
what do we-
print it out, it looks so different on InDesign versus
Right.
a printout version. So it's good to
Right.
have it printed out.
Exactly.
Awesome.